Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now this is a tips video on how to make loads of money. Now I previously did a video on how to sneak into Privyetsk, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but it's a enemy camp in the top right corner of the map. Now if you sneak into the back of that, and I'll link to the video in the description, you can stealth your way through the camp and kill all the guards and rob all their stuff. I then discovered if you take all their stuff to the merchants and sell it, you can make a nice tidy mint, but then you can also sneak into the back of the shop and steal it all back and then sell it to the local miller. Now this does require you to have a very good lock picking skill, because some of these locks are very hard, so you obviously need to up your skill level in terms of lock picking. That requires a little bit of effort in terms of picking numerous locks, stealthing your way around the game, and reading a few different books on lock picking. But this is an example. I've done it at Ratai, where you can sneak down this corridor and you can steal all the stuff back. So I've sold all the stuff for quite a mint to the merchant, and then I've stolen it all back from the chest, and you can see there's a lot of stuff here and very overweight, and I tried transporting most of it to my horse but couldn't get enough there, so I ended up having to run back to the miller. Well, I say run, this is actually sped up. It was painfully slow walking all the way back to the miller down the road, and then you can sell it to him. Now obviously you might get stopped by guards along the way. That could be problematic. Luckily my strength is at a level where I can tell them to just get lost, and they usually listen to me. But this is a brilliant way of making some extra loot. Now, as a side note, if you follow the guide that I did on how to sneak into Privyetsk and murder all the camp guards, I had a bit of a weird bug where I found there was a tent on the right hand side as you sneak in the back of the camp where you can actually save the game, and I found I managed to save the game, and then every time the game loaded again a lot of the guards had respawned, despite the fact I'd killed everybody in the camp. The result of which was I ended up having to kill everybody in the camp about 6 times, but I managed to keep all their loot by stashing it in one of the boxes and then going back and forth the horse and collecting all that loot. The result of which is, after selling most of that gear to the merchants and then stealing it all and selling it to the miller, I now have 77,000 gold, which is just ridiculous. There's a lot of money to have, and upwards of that, because there's still potential for all the bandit camps to deal with. Now, as I said, once you go back to the miller, you can then sell all the stuff to him. It does mean you have to make sure he's got enough money to purchase it all. If not, you can stash it in the box next to your bed and wait until he does. The more things you sell him, the more money he can make, and then the more he has. You can see here, Trader's Wealth, he's currently got 16,000 and I've got 63,000. And just go through and sell all the stolen loot. As a side note, you probably know this already, but anything stolen on your person, it's a good idea to get rid of as soon as you can, because if the guards find you with stolen stuff, you end up getting in a pickle. Now I managed to sell all of that for 12,000, and that was just the stuff I had on me. There was still a load more in the horse, so you can imagine how much money I made. Now you can see, I just wanted to show you how to get in. Another tip for lockpicking. This lock that I'm trying to deal with is very hard. Now there's a potion called the Padfoot potion that you can use that improves your lockpicking ability for a short time. So even if you're not skilled enough to break into these locks, you can take that potion and then you'll be the right level to be able to pick even the very hardest lock until you can learn how to do it. So I've managed to do it here, and I'm also demonstrating, this is a locker from near another merchant who was actually a herbalist, and you can even steal from them. So there's a potential for basically stealing from everybody. So you can sell to them and then steal it all back, or you can just steal the stuff you want. You can also purchase from the herbalist that Padfoot potion, or you can make it yourself. Now I'll show you how to make it yourself at the end. I have the recipe for doing that, and that's a brilliant way of doing it. You can purchase the book from the herbalist if you want to learn the recipe. Hopefully you'll be able to do it with just the ingredients I'll show you, and the technique for doing that if you need to. And you can see there's an alchemy bench. You can learn herbalism and stuff from these people too, but just learning that little nugget on how to make Padfoot potion will be very useful for this. If you want to make a load of money, this is the way to do it. Obviously you don't want to get caught, so make sure you have the saviour snaps and that you can save on a regular basis, because if you save before you try and attempt stealing everything, then if you get caught, it doesn't matter. You can see you can buy the Padfoot potion from it here, and you can also buy the recipe for the Padfoot potion, so that if you want to learn how to do it yourself and make them yourself, then that's another way of doing it. And it's also worth buying all these extra bits. Now, alchemy is a bit of a faff. If you've experimented with it, it can become quite tiresome, but some of the potions you can do quite easily. The more you do them, the better your skill becomes, and then eventually you can auto brew, which allows you to brew up loads of potions really quickly and easily, which is a fantastic way of doing it. But just look out for that Padfoot potion, because it's very useful also for stealth, because it improves your stealthing ability and you can sneak around a bit more, which is incredibly useful on dealing with bandit camps, which I'm going to do another video on. Bandit camps are also another way to get loads of money really quickly, as long as you have the ability to carry loads of things. So here's a quick overview of the Padfoot potion. You can see you'll need a variety of different things. It's in the recipe book along with all my other recipes, because I've managed to buy quite a few different books on it. But basically the recipe for it is you'll need cobwebs, eyes bright, valerian and chamomile. So you need water to start with. You put the water in the cauldron, then you need to drop cobwebs and eyes bright into the cauldron, boil the mixture for 3 turns, grind some valerian up, add the valerian to the cauldron, boil for 1 turn, leave the cauldron to cool, grind the chamomile, add the chamomile and do not boil, and then finish up, and then you've got your Padfoot potion. Hope you found this video useful. Hope you make loads of money off of it. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for watching.